JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, man shot and killed in Harmony Town, Westmoreland. A man was shot and killed at the entrance of Harmony Town in Westmoreland on Sunday. The deceased has been identified as 25-year-old O'Shane Price, otherwise called Eclipse, a mechanic of Darling Street, Savlamar, Westmoreland. According to information received, Price was standing with a group of people at the entrance of Harmony Town about 6:30 p.m. when they were approached by two men riding on a motorcycle who brandished firearms and opened fire, hitting Price multiple times. It is said that the motorcycle fell with the men, who got up and continued firing. When Price fell to the ground, it is alleged that one of the men went over him and fired shots, hitting him in the head. Price was rushed to the Savlamar Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Price was facing the courts on a charge of murder in regards to an incident that occurred in 2017. Over in Montego Bay, the police are trying to determine what could have caused the death of a popular mobile vendor whose decomposing body was found along a section of the Howard Cook Boulevard in Montego Bay on Monday. The vendor has been identified as Bobby Ramjos, otherwise called Indian, of Bogill, St. James. According to reports, the body was discovered by a passerby who saw the body lying on a rock near the shore. The St. James police are investigating. Yelland residents fearful after triple murder. Residents of Yelland district in St. Anne said the area has become tense ever since 3 of its residents were found murdered on November 21. The bullet-riddled bodies of Brandon Lando Williams, 22, Romario Bashi Higgins, 18, and Herman Wilson were found on a deserted roadway in the district. You see, because we hardly have them things around here, when the 3 man them get shot up, so you have to stop and really wonder what go on. So you can just feel the tension in the ear. You have to watch where you do and where you go. We just I see enough strange face about the place after what happened last week. A man said, everybody dey on edge. The place just feel like something go broke out anytime now. So everybody dey on them guard. Another resident is demanding for a greater police presence in the community. If the police don't do something now, this thing going to get worse by next year. The youth them get out of hand with the gun thing. Enough thing go on when not even police don't know about, he said. COVID about. So we have to try and do a Christmas same place here in the community. But we can't blind to what happened around way. Meanwhile, Superintendent Carlos Russell, commanding officer for St. Anne, says the police have not identified a motive for the murders. The investigation is still in an early stage, and the investigators are following up on a few leads and doing some checks. But we don't have any motives right now, he said. Russell says Williams recently relocated to Yelland after being charged in relation to a shooting incident. At the time of his death, he was going to report to the Brownstone police station as a condition of his bail. Russell added, however, that he isn't aware of any other incidents in recent times, assuring residents that the triple murder was a one-off incident. Since that shooting, we have not had any other incidents of murder or shooting, he said. Court orders 3-year-old sent back to dad in Florida. The Jamaican mother of a 3-year-old boy has been ordered to return the child to his father in the United States amid a simmering year-long dispute that drew on international law governing child abduction. The landmark case was anchored on the Hague Convention on the Civil Aspects of International Child Abduction 1980, to which Jamaica became signatory 3.5 years ago, and a senior legal expert here believes it will offer a template for similar undertakings and deter aggrieved parents from going rogue, while declining to speak in detail on the decision until she had combed through the judgment. Children's advocate Dan Gordon Harrison said that the ruling was major. The fact that it is the first such decision, it will set the tone for how these matters are dealt with going forward. Gordon Harrison, who is also Special Rapporteur on Trafficking in Persons, said. We are in a globalized community, and so what you're having increasingly is Jamaicans who are in relationships with persons who are not Jamaicans, and then they end up having offspring when the marriage goes belly up, or if it's not a marriage relationship, and one party travels overseas or comes back home, then who the child stays with becomes a major question, Gordon Harrison, a former prosecutor, added. DeJean Whiteley and Monique Bennett got married on July 6, 2018, exactly a year after their son was born, before moving to Boynton Beach, Florida. Bennett traveled with the child to Jamaica on June 23, 2019, and did not return home. On October 21, 2019, an application was filed under the Hague Convention on the civil aspects of international child abduction for the return of the child. Attempts to find Bennett and the boy had been futile until a tip led local authorities to find them in Cane River, St. Thomas. The case centered on what was the minor's habitual place of residence and whether Whiteley had waived his parental rights by allowing for the visit to Jamaica, among other reasons. A bid to have a stay granted on the premise of perceived procedural error was dismissed. Bennett had claimed that she was the victim of domestic abuse at the hands of Whiteley and that the child would be in danger if he were returned to the custody of his father. She also supported her defense with Florida law, claiming that legislation recognized her as the natural guardian of the boy because he had been born out of wedlock. Supreme Court Justice Lorna Shelley Williams, in a 28-page judgment, disputed Bennett's claim that the child was settled, arguing that there was no evidence of deep social attachments to family, school, or church groups in Jamaica. Justice Shelley Williams also found no evidence that the minor had become acclimatized to Jamaica. The judge also dismissed the claim that the father had abnegated his rights to the child when he allowed the mother to travel with the 3-year-old. I find it remarkable that the complainant would have purchased 2 sets of airline tickets to enable the return of the minor if there was no agreement to do so, and I do not believe the defendant, Justice Shelley Williams said. Bennett also sought to buttress her defense on the claim that the child would be at grave risk because she was allegedly the victim of domestic abuse. She also hinted at Whiteley's negligence in relation to the handling of a licensed firearm. Whiteley admitted to inflicting bruises on Bennett, but charged that he was defending himself against her attacks. Justice Shelley Williams said that while the couple's relationship was toxic, there was no evidence that the child would be in danger. I note that with all the allegations of abuse made by the parties, neither party suggested that there had been any abuse meted out to the minor. The defendant contended that the complainant abused his older child, but this has been denied by the complainant, Justice Shelley Williams said. The judge also ruled that an American court should decide on the custody arrangements. The child was scheduled to be returned to the United States by December 5. The court also made provisions to protect the child's interest by ordering that Bennett and her family could arrange visits to ensure the boy's safety. The mother was also granted phone contact for at least 15 minutes daily at 7 p.m. The firearm complaint is also to be investigated by Florida authorities. 36-year-old dies of COVID. Jamaica records 47 new cases. Jamaica recorded 1 additional COVID-19 related death and 47 new cases on Monday, according to the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The deceased is a 36-year-old female from Westmoreland, bringing the death toll from the coronavirus in Jamaica to 258. The 47 newly confirmed COVID-19 cases bring the total number of cases on record for the island to 10,810. Recoveries increased by 145, bringing total recoveries to 6,364. Of the newly confirmed cases, 27 are females and 20 are males, with ages ranging from 1 to 89 years. The cases were recorded in Westmoreland, 13, St. Anne, 10, St. Catherine, 8, Hanover, 4, Kingston and St. Andrew, 3, St. Thomas 3, St. James 2, St. Elizabeth 2, Manchester 1, and Portland 1. There are 14 moderately ill patients and 9 critically ill patients among the 4,040 active cases now under observation in Jamaica. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.